Mountain gravel bed streams are characterized by the foundation of cobbles and gravel they flow over and through. There is a stream channel on the surface, and then water flowing through the gravel aquifer beneath and around the channel. The surface stream fills the aquifer when it floods, and water from the aquifer feeds the stream when flows are low. This is Maroon Creek. This stream is just below the confluence of East Maroon Creek, coming from the east side of Pyramid Peak, and Maroon Creek coming down from Maroon Lakes and the Bells. This is a classic mountain gravel bed stream. You can see this water is in channels braided, flowing over a large bed of gravel that fills this entire floodplain. The floodplain here, the gravel floodplain, is also filled with water. It's not just the channel. The water in these gravels you can't see, it's all underground, and it extends all the way off to the sides, and it supports this thick wetland and riparian vegetation. Without this riparian vegetation, there would be no life in this stream. Without the water in the gravels, there would be no riparian vegetation. If we take too much water out, we dry it all up. At that point, we might as well just case the whole thing in concrete and go home. I'm going to kick around in this gravel and see what kind of insects I can kick up. These gravels should be full of little mayflies and stoneflies, midges, all kinds of little bugs. Of course, it is late in the year, so there may not be very much. Oh, there are some. Oh, good. Here we can see a lot of the bugs that were in the gravel. The bigger ones are the stoneflies. The medium-sized ones that are flitting around so much are mayflies, and the small, skinny ones are caddis. The caddis are unique because they build their own little homes around their own bodies. This too is Maroon Creek. This part of the channel was filled and choked with its own debris in a very high runoff a couple of years ago, and that is what forced the formation of the new channel. The water was choked out and had to find a new way around. This happens continuously over time in these mountain streams, and it reshapes and reactivates and recharges the groundwater, the gravels, and the entire ecosystem. Here's that old channel again, filled with the cobbles and gravels washed down a couple springs ago. And here we can see the new channel, carved through the riparian woodland over the larger gravel bed that fills this floodplain. Now below this new channel, you can see all the woody debris that was torn out and brought here by the high spring flow that created the new channel. This woody debris serves a vital function in shaping the channel and as a food for the insects in the stream. Small streams like Maroon Creek are the backbone of the larger landscape. While only 2% of the land area, these riparian areas support 90% of the wildlife. The deer, the elk, migrating songbirds, they all depend on these stream areas for some significant part of their life. Water diversions can have a significant impact to gravel bed streams. Taking out too much water for long periods of time can cause the alluvial aquifer, the sponge, to dry out as water moves from it into the diminished stream. Drying the aquifer drops the groundwater levels and leaves the roots of many riparian plants high and dry. They often die. If this happens over a long period and no new young cottonwoods, willows, alders, or other riparian plants grow, the area will be taken over by more drought-resistant plants like bunch grasses and sagebrush. Another impact from the lower flows is the buildup of fine sediments. If the stream can't move these sediments out, they will smother the insects in the gravel, the eggs fish lay in the gravel, and the young fish that then live in the gravel after they hatch. The riparian woodlands, wetlands, and alluvial aquifers of Castle and Maroon Creeks are in pretty good shape. But science tells us that if we take more than 20% of the native flow for extended periods, we can cause serious damage. That is happening on the Crystal River, the Upper Colorado River, and parts of the Roaring Fork River. Castle and Maroon Creeks are at the limits of how much water we can take. Adding more diversion for hydropower, snowmaking, or growth could result in long-term and significant damage. Climate change models show changes in precipitation that could also reduce flows. We owe it to our children not only to combat climate change, but to do everything we can to protect these mountain gravel bed streams.